everybody, and welcome to my channel. Today, I have the lovely Lynn Druitt with me. You may know Lynn from her YouTube channel because she's got lots of advice on nutrition and those kinds of things. But the reason that Lynn is here with us today is that Lynn actually bought a set of the new 12 chakra sprays from me. Apart from having worked a little bit with her dog, Lynn and I only met, 2 months ago or something like that when Lynn purchased the sprays from me. And she's come on today just to share a little bit of her experience on the sprays. As I say, I don't like doing it because it's like marking my own homework. So I've asked Lynn to come on today and just share a little bit about her experience with the sprays, and maybe that helps people to ascertain whether they think this is something that could help them. So thank you so much, Lynn, for taking the time out to join me today.
Thank you, Emma. It's a great honor and a pleasure to be here and to share my experience.
Awesome. Thank you. So I just want to ask you, just to start off with, how, as giving as much detail as you like, but just how did you find the overall experience of using the sprays?
Overall, I was actually quite blown away. Um, and I've got my notes here, so I really want to just give an overview of each spray by number. So that's how I thought I would present it today so people could see. So what I'll say is that this is my own personal feeling, and of course, what someone else uses as sprays, you'll have a totally different experience. But and I did each one um, day by day. I had a little break in between because I got sick. Um, but I think initially, if you haven't done it before, I would probably do one day at a time. But overall, an amazing experience. I have used other sprays before, but nothing like this.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, well, it's so nice to know, because I make them and I know what goes into them. But of course, when somebody can feel it on the other side, that's really, I mean, that's the only thing that matters. So, yeah.
Correct.
So, right. So now dive in a little bit deeper. So, if you'd like to share, I know you said you had some notes there, but just share any particular sprays or in any particular order, but just as you feel called to.
Okay. Well, I will follow my notes here, and so excuse me for looking over. But all of the sprays, when I grounded, gave me a very high tingling sensation in the feet. So I know that the grounding meditation side of your meditation takes you to where you need to go. And that was beautiful, connecting to Gaia and the obsidian stones. Um, and number two was there's number two and number four were the most profound. They all had an effect, but the most profound effect. So number two, I was sitting right at the end, and where I do my meditation, my room was quite cold. And I was feeling quite chilly because it was getting later in the day. And I was just sitting there, just taking it all in. And then all of a sudden, from my wrist down to my fingertips, this beautiful warmth filled my hands. And I just sat there and I raised my hands and looked at them. I'm thinking, what's going on here? Like, the rest of my body wasn't warming up. It was just my hands. And they were radiating this most gorgeous warmth. So afterwards, I asked my guides what that was, and they said that it was part of my gifts coming through. So, and that's what that was. So my healing hands, my fingertips, my gifts were coming online. So that was pretty amazing for me.
Wow.
Yeah. And number four, I think, which is the navel, when I did that, there's obviously a lot of issues in the navel for me. I felt nauseous, and I don't say this in a way where to stop people from doing it. This was just my experience. Very nauseous, very lightheaded, and then not long after that, I had to go to the loo.
Okay.
So I had a massive purge there. So things were coming up all the time. So as far as all the other sprays, I found them extremely relaxing. At the end of each one, Emma, when you finish your meditation, you said that you would hope to achieve being lighter and brighter. Well, that definitely does happen. You just feel lighter in yourself, and that energy, you just feel lifted and beautiful. It's hard to explain and hard to put into words.
Mm.
Um, the Let's have a look at what else I've got. Oh, number 6, which is the heart chakra. I felt massive heart expansion there. So that was really, really cool because I've done a lot of work on my heart. But that was amazing, a warmth in my chest and just a really beautiful feeling. Number 7, peace. I felt very peaceful. Number 8, I love the lemongrass because that's one of my favorite essences. Number 10, my unicorns and dragons were kind of around me. They weren't actually showing themselves, but I could see them in my mind's eye, which was pretty cool. And then number 12, which was the tree analogy. This one really moved me.
Okay.
It just made me aware that we are universal beings, and we need to put our roots into the ground like we do with Gaia, but even more so stretching our branches up to the universe. And that really, really resonated with me. It was beautiful, actually. So that's pretty much all of them. They were all gorgeous. The fragrances were really lovely. They were very earthy. Some were more floral, but they got the job done. They really got the job done, and I felt amazing on them. And as I said, I've used other sprays before, but nothing like this at all. I really felt an impact from them.
Okay.
And also too, I want to comment on the beautiful, relaxing music and the chimes and the water. That was a very nice piece of music and nice to set the tone with the meditations. And, your guided meditation through all of those, each one when I was doing them singly, yeah, spot on, Emma. I take my hat off to you. They were really lovely. They weren't too long, and you got to the point, did what you needed to do in a loving way, and yeah, really nice. As I said, I take my hat off to you.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Lynn. So
Mm.
I was going to ask this question at the end, but I guess it was just on the meditation. So do you find that the meditation really was helpful to use them with? And do you think it made them more impactful? Or do you think, I mean,
Yes.
probably now you've done them, you might be able to just do them on your own in a meditative space, but did you enjoy the meditations? Did you think
Yes.
they added to it?
Yes, most definitely. For me, I'm a little bit lazy in that way, so I'd rather follow someone's words. I'm getting better at, not using someone's video or, meditation, but it was very appropriate, and especially if you've got new people coming in using these and not used chakra sprays before, it would be awesome for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then just on the meditation, just so that everybody knows, I initially had everything in one meditation, but it was an hour and
Mm.
a half, and that's so long, and people will fall asleep, and then you're not really spraying the sprays. So what I did was I chopped them up, and then was also guided that it was probably a good idea because to do one a day means that your body can integrate the energies.
Yes.
But after doing that, Lynn actually contacted me and said, once you've done the initial one, it would be quite a nice idea to have to be able to do them all in one go if you were called to, just sort of like an ongoing basis. So I have actually put a much shortened version together that goes through all the 12. So Lynn, have you had a chance to do that, and how did you find that one?
Yes, I did, and I do that because it's only 40 minutes, and I didn't know how you were going to do that, or whether it was too much of a big ask for me to do that. But that one where they're all condensed in one is really magical, and they just glide into you just glide from 1, 2, 3, right up to 12, and before you know it, you're done. And yeah, it very, very good. And that's the one I'm using now, because I said I'm a little bit lazy with my own thinking, which I shouldn't be like that, but it's just easier to have that prompt for
Mm,
me anyway.
yeah.
And they were just beautiful. And with that one, my dragon did show up fully in my third eye,
Oh, wow.
and that was pretty cool. So that was the platinum silver dragon,
Mm,
and I've since been communicating with her, which is just amazing. I know her name. She's here to help me. And I know there's others, but
mm.
I'm not talking to my angels as much now. I hope they're not have hurt feelings. I know they don't. I'm talking to my dragon now.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, the 12 meditation might be a little bit of a hurry for new people,
yeah.
or but people that are more experienced in doing this and want a condensed version,
Mm,
by all means. But I'd say anyone new really needs to integrate them over a day or two, because a lot comes up.
mm,
They're very powerful,
mm.
and you just can't do them boom, 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 boom when you haven't done them first off. That's what
Yeah,
I feel.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Lynn.
you're welcome.
So I just wanted to ask you, so there's obviously 5 sort of levels that we can work on. And I actually, this just popped into my head now, but we've sort of got the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, and the energetic levels. So do you feel, in terms of all of those levels, is there an area that you feel that you've shifted more, or do you feel it's kind of on all levels and it's still ongoing? Do you feel that you felt it in, how are you sort of feeling, any differences emotionally, mentally, that kind of thing?
Well, I think I actually did the sprays this morning with the dragon activation. I did all 12 on me before we started.
Okay.
And the I think all levels have shifted, because in this time that I've had before we're doing this interview now, I'm purging all the time.
Mm, mm,
So I really feel that, and especially with things happening in the family front, it's helping me cope better, because I'm in a lot better space. And I thought I was in a better space. You always think
mm,
you're more advanced than what you are, and you think, oh, I've done all that now. But there's always another layer.
mm. Yeah.
And
Mm.
I think they've really helped me deal with this situation in my family. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
it's
that's
been
awesome.
good. But I
Yeah.
think in answer to your question, I think it affects all
Mm,
5 areas,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Oh, Lynn, thank you so much for your time. I mean, I really, really appreciate it. It's just always nice to have somebody else's opinion. And as you know, before we went on, I didn't want to ask you anything. I didn't want it scripted. I really wanted it to just come from you. And
Yes,
so thank you so much for your time. And I'm
you're
so glad
very,
that you enjoyed them and are
oh,
enjoying them.
yeah, they're just amazing, Emma. And I just said that, we did this activation this morning, and intuitively I thought, oh, let's do all 12 before that. And so I quickly did them all, and I think that unleashed a whole lot of emotions. So I had you know, the whole experience with that was just so beautiful. So I think it helps energetically release what we need to release. And this
Mm,
is what's so important. As I'm saying, they're
yeah,
just so, so powerful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kudos to you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, so it's interesting, and I guess that was my intention. And I think when I was guided to make them, that's why I was woken at 2 o'clock in the morning and sort of given instructions of how to do them. And so my old chakra sprays were kind of infused over a period of days, obviously with sun and moonlight, but I was specifically called to do this with some new moon and some full moon energy. And the reasoning behind that was that the full moon energies can help us with the release, and then the new moon energies can help us to bring in the new keys, codes, and upgrades and all those things. So I guess
Yes,
it's working. I didn't know how it was going to work, but it's obviously working.
it is working. That's very interesting to know that, because when you say that, that's how they're working, exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so
Mhm.
much, Lynn. Thank you so much for coming on today. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's my
All right.
pleasure to
Okay.
be here. Thank you, Emma.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.